This area here is probably one of the most important, if not the most important areas to consider when we talk about keeping pig disease out. So here we've identified a terrific barrier, a gate which can be secured, etc. We've got good signage with instructions saying dip the boots. Anyone who has contact with pigs that then actually has contact with your own pigs is a risk, and we need to make sure that they don't carry manure particularly into your pigs. First of all, you need to clean your boots. We need water. So clean the boots. There's no point in disinfecting dirty boots because the disinfectant won't get to the actual bugs on the boots. So having cleaned our boots, and you need your long-handled brush. And you need something like this to get to the cleats. It's the cleats that are the main issue. Water, brush, cleats, in this case hoof pick, because quite often the brush doesn't do that. What a good foot bath we've got here. We've got a lidded foot bath, so we've cleaned our boots, and now we're at the stage of just reflecting that lid, putting our boots in, and we can be really reassured. This business of just touching your foot onto a disinfectant pad is largely a waste of time. You need to actually be sure that clean boots are put in contact with the right concentration of disinfection. That's what preventing disease is all about. And now I can be reasonably confident that I, boot-wise, manure-wise, can go in and handle pigs in there without putting them at risk. Every pig farm really ought to have somewhere to put pigs that are new arrivals to the farm or returns for the farm from show into isolation. Why do we need isolation? Because it's putting them in quarantine for a short period of time. We're trying to keep disease from entering the main unit. So an isolation facility has to be isolated from the other pigs. So it has to be a separate airspace. It has to have provision for biosecurity, the people actually looking after those pigs in isolation. And the period of time that's in isolation is usually a minimum of 21 days before we decide it's safe to introduce them to the home stock. And what we do with those pigs in isolation is a daily critical examination. Isolation means not only isolating the pigs, but isolating their feed and their bedding provision. So it's a total separate unit. And then we actually might, while they're in isolation, do certain specific procedures. We may bleed them or test them for diseases that we desperately need to keep out from our own pigs. Therefore, we need to be sure that these new pigs, or a new pig, or a visiting boar, or a show sow coming back, isn't going to bring something that's going to decimate our own home stock. So that's the function of isolation. So this vehicle has delivered pigs, dropped off pigs, and clearly there's a need to clean and disinfect this vehicle properly because it's delivered its pigs. It's still got straw in, and so we clearly need to dispose of that straw properly because there's feces contaminated straw in there. So that needs to be swept out and then processed accordingly depending on where we keep that manure and what we're going to do with it. We've got the vehicle here now. We've taken the bedding off. We're in the process of getting ready to power wash this vehicle, cleaning and fully disinfecting. And we want it on a standing where all the water and the disinfectant and any potential infection goes down the drain, goes away. There's no point in actually leaving the infection that we've washed off for other vehicles to pick up if they're passing this way, or the next trailer that gets positioned here to carry off to somewhere else. That wouldn't be sensible. This is good practice.